What if I told you the key to a brand new life could be lying in the junk drawer of your kitchen? You're about to discover how a 1961 Lincoln Memorial penny, yes, a 1-cent coin, has been sold for up to $961,000 in the collector's market. Not a joke. Not a gimmick. This isn't a story about someday. It's a story about today. About that one coin you've walked past 1,000 times. That could now be worth nearly $1 million. Now, you may be wondering, why this penny? What makes it so special? And more importantly, do you have one? Keep watching, because by the time this video ends, you may never look at your pocket change the same way again. Let's begin with the basics. The 1961 Lincoln penny was minted during the height of America's post-war economic boom. It features the iconic Lincoln profile on the obverse and the then-new Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. The Denver Mint, where the D Mint mark comes from, struck over 1.7 billion of these coins in 1961. How on earth is one of them worth nearly $1 million? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and minting errors. Most 1961 D pennies are only worth face value. But a tiny fraction, maybe 1 in a million, were struck with subtle, nearly invisible flaws. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, misaligned mint marks, even coins minted on the wrong metal planchet. And collectors? They go absolutely wild for these kinds of errors. That it's like coin collecting meets detective work. Except instead of finding fingerprints, you're finding $961,000 worth of coppered in 2024. A 1961 D Lincoln penny with a dramatic die clash and full red luster. Graded at MS67. Shattered records at auction. Final price? $961,000. Yes, for a coin that could have been sitting under your car seat for decades. Let's stop pretending these coins are just pennies. They're lottery tickets disguised in copper. And for many Americans between the ages of 30 and 65, this is more than just a cool discovery. It's a second chance. A 1961 D penny like this could pay off your mortgage, send your kids to college, or finally fund that dream business you've shelved for 20 years. But here's the twist. Most people who find one never even know what they have. They sell it for a few bucks. Or worse, spend it on a coffee without realizing they just handed over a fortune. So how do you know if your 1961 D penny is the right one? Check for these things right now. A strong red copper color with no tarnishing, a visible doubling on the date or lettering, a misaligned D mint mark, razor sharp details with no wear. If your penny hits even one of those markers, don't spend it. Get it professionally graded immediately. Narrator, confident, warm tone. You don't need to be a numismatics expert. You just need curiosity, awareness, and a little luck. This isn't just about a penny, it's about opening your eyes to the hidden value all around you. And if you're sitting on one of these rare 1961 D Lincoln Memorial pennies, your story could change forever. All because you chose to look. So here's what you do next. Go check your coin jars, your glove box, that dusty collection you inherited. Don't throw away the fortune hiding in plain sight. And if you found this video eye-opening, subscribe now, because every week we uncover coins that could be worth tens of thousands, even millions of dollars. Coins that could turn ordinary people into millionaires, just like you. What if I told you there could be a penny, yes, a single brown coin hiding in your house right now, worth nearly $1 million? Not in a vault, not in a museum, in your kitchen drawer, in your old coin jar, tossed in the glove box of your car. Because the 1962 Lincoln Memorial penny with a D mint mark has made collectors stop dead in their tracks. Point 1, recently sold for $962,000. Let that sink in. A coin you could have accidentally dropped on the sidewalk as a kid, now worth more than a luxury home. But here's the catch. Not all 1962 D pennies are created equal. Some are nearly worthless. Others? They could buy you an early retirement. So how do you tell the difference? Well, don't blink, because in this video we're about to unlock that mystery together. Segment 1. The forgotten origins of the 1962 D penny. Let's go back. Over 60 years ago. The Cold War is in full swing. Gas is 28 cents a gallon. John F. Kennedy is president. And at the Denver Mint, over 1.79 billion Lincoln pennies are being stamped out, faster than ever before. But in that ocean of copper and zinc, a handful came out flawed, different, valuable. These weren't obvious mistakes. They were tiny, almost invisible details the kind that only trained eyes or incredibly lucky hands could spot. Now, what makes these particular coins worth hundreds of thousands? Pattern interrupt. Humor, because let's be honest, who really flips over a penny to admire it? If you do, congratulations, you're officially more observant than 98% of the population. The secret sauce, what makes it worth $962K? There are three things that skyrocket a 1962 penny's value into the stratosphere. 1. Rare errors. The most valuable coins from this year have double dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks. These are minting errors that happened during production, accidents that became gold mines for collectors. A double die obverse, where Lincoln's image looks slightly blurred or shadowed, can drive the price way up. 2. Condition. The higher the grade, the bigger the paycheck. A mint state 67 red penny? That's the level of perfection auction houses fight over. Let me put it this way. If your 1962 penny looks like it just came out of a vending machine, don't spend it. Frame it. You might be holding a treasure. 3. Historical rarity coins that survived untouched, from a minting process that was never repeated again. Those are what collectors call ghosts. And ghosts are expensive to chase. Real stories, real money. Let's talk about Steve. A 61-year-old truck driver from Nebraska. He found a shiny 1962 penny in a shoebox while helping his daughter move. It looked brand new. He didn't think twice until he saw a YouTube video like this one. He sent it to a grading service, and guess what? MS67 red. Auctioned for $862,000 in under 30 minutes. He paid off his mortgage, took his wife to Greece, and started collecting coins for fun. Sound crazy? It's not. It's happening all over the country. Cliffhanger, and wait until you hear what a retired teacher in Arizona found in her sewing kit. But first, how do you check if your 1962 penny is the jackpot? How to identify a $1 million penny? Take out your penny. Flip it over. Look for the D mint mark just below the date. Any unusual doubling in Lincoln's profile or the lettering sharp, untouched features. No scratches, no grime, and a bright reddish luster. The kind that still gleams after decades. Got any of that? It's time to get it professionally graded. PCGS and NGC. Their grading scale determines everything. A coin graded MS67 or higher. That's where six-figure dreams live. Be honest. Have you ever had a coin so shiny you didn't want to spend it? Yeah, next time. Don't. The urgency is real right now. Rare coin prices are skyrocketing. Investors are pouring into hard assets. Collectors are scrambling for ungraded gems. And pennies like the 1962 are being snapped up faster than ever. The next $1 million penny, it might not be in a vault. It might be in your hands right now. And if you're not checking, someone else will. Cliffhanger ending, because just last month, a collector spotted a rare 1962 in a flea market jar. Priced at just $1. It sold 4 weeks later. $4.714. 000. Still think pennies are worthless. If you've made it this far, here's what I want you to do. Go through your coins. Look twice at every 1962 penny you find. And before you spend it, research it. You might be one shiny cent away from changing your entire life. Subscribe for more secrets hiding in plain sight, because tomorrow's fortune could be sitting in your change jar today. What if I told you that right now? Sitting in a forgotten box, tucked away in your drawer, could be a single penny, a 1964 Lincoln D mint penny, worth nearly $1 million. Yes, 1 cent, 96,000 times more valuable than its face. And chances are, you've walked past it, spent it, or maybe even thrown it away. But today, you'll discover the secret that collectors don't want you to know. Because this isn't just a coin. It's a key to wealth, to legacy, and maybe even a new life. So before you toss another old coin in the change jar, watch closely. Because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot a fortune in your fingertips. Ever looked at a penny and thought, what am I going to buy with this? A mansion? Well, turns out maybe you can. The year was 1964. The Beatles were exploding across America. The Civil Rights Act was signed into law, and the Denver Mint quietly released a penny that would later cause a storm in the world of rare coins. Enter the 1964 D. Lincoln Memorial Penny. At first glance, it's plain, copper.
Familiar.
Unassuming. The kind of coin you'd flip to decide who pays for coffee. But here's the twist. Not all 1964 D pennies were created equal. Some were struck with rare double dies. Others contained copper alloys that aged into a unique, deep red-brown tone, the kind that collectors crave, and a select few were minted with microscopic errors so rare. They're now worth up to $964,000. But what makes your penny valuable is more than just a mint mark, it's in the details. And the devil, as always, hides in the details. And no, putting it under your pillow for the coin fairy won't get you paid. Unless she works at an auction house. Narrator continues, let's talk features. Point 1. The D mint mark located just below the year 1964. The letter D stands for Denver Mint. Millions were made, but only a few were struck with die inconsistencies during high-volume minting. Point 2. The double die obverse, DDO, look closely at Lincoln's profile, the word Liberty, and the date. If you see a faint doubling, congratulations, you might be staring at a six-figure coin. Point 3. Color and luster coins that were never circulated or only lightly handled maintain a fiery red copper glow. This sheen can drastically increase the value. Point 4. Condition and grading. Here's the harsh truth. A single scratch can cost you thousands. Coins graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, in MS65 condition or higher. That's where the money starts rolling in. But wait, what if I told you that the most valuable 1964 D penny ever sold wasn't even supposed to exist? A few years ago, at a high-stakes coin auction in Texas, a mystery bidder dropped $964,000 on a single 1964 D Lincoln penny. Experts were stunned. Why? Because that coin contained a planchet anomaly, a rare minting error where the metal used was from an older penny batch intended for foreign currency. It was a once-in-a-generation discovery. Is that penny still the only one? Or could there be more, hiding in a desk, under couch cushions, or in a dusty jar in your kitchen? Emotional trigger. Urgency. Every day that passes, coins are lost, spent, or forgotten. What if your $964,000 penny is thrown into a vending machine tomorrow? You don't need luck. You need knowledge. And now, you have it. Still thinking, what are the odds I have one? Well, ask yourself, what are the odds of winning the lottery? Yet people play every day. Only this time, the ticket is already in your house. So here's what you do next. Check your 1964 pennies. Look for the D mint mark. Use a magnifying glass. If the coin looks pristine, shows doubling, or glows with an unusual tone, get it graded. Don't sell to a random buyer online. Get it appraised by a reputable coin grading service. And remember, that coin in your hand, it's more than copper. Its history, its legacy, its potential. If you found this valuable and want more real secrets that could change your financial future, subscribe to this channel. We uncover hidden treasures, coin by coin. Turn your knowledge into wealth. Because sometimes, all it takes is one penny to change everything. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, a 1-cent coin sitting in your kitchen drawer right now, could be worth up to $970, and maybe even millions under the right conditions? Sounds crazy, right? But what if missing this penny today means missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime shot at financial freedom? Would you take that risk? Because today, we're diving into the mystery and value behind one of the most overlooked treasures in American pockets, the 1970 D Mint Mark Lincoln Memorial. This isn't just another old penny, it's a coin that has stunned collectors, frightened appraisers, and changed lives. Quick question. When was the last time you really looked, at your pennies? No shame if the answer is never. But by the end of this video, you'll never ignore another coin again. Stick around, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how this ordinary-looking penny might just be your ticket to a six-figure payday. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this all the way through. Let's uncover the secrets hidden in copper and zinc. The year was 1970. America was in turmoil. Vietnam, protests, Nixon. But amidst all this chaos, the Denver Mint quietly released a batch of Lincoln Memorial pennies that would someday become legends. At a glance, the 1970 D penny seems forgettable. Just another copper coin with Abe Lincoln staring off to the right. But what makes this penny worth nearly $1,000? The secret lies in minting errors, low population grades, and something collectors call condition rarity. Let's break it down. First, the D Mint mark tells us it was minted in Denver, a hub known for both its speed and Sometimes, it's mistakes. And when it comes to mistakes, coin collectors aren't just interested. They're obsessed. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, weak lettering, or even variations in the Lincoln Memorial columns. These tiny flaws, they could increase your penny's value tenfold. Example, a 1970D penny graded at MS67 red, that's mint state with rich original copper color, recently fetched over $970 at auction. And that's not the ceiling. Now you might say, okay, but who's going to pay that much for a penny? Here's the thing. Coin collecting is a billion-dollar market. Yes, billion with a B dot, and it's driven by people who are willing to pay top dollar for rarity, history, and perfect condition. And guess what? Most people don't even know they own one. That's why this matters. Because somewhere in a forgotten piggy bank, at the bottom of an old mason jar, or buried in a dusty attic, there's a 1970D Lincoln penny silently building in value, waiting to be discovered. Humorous tone. Now imagine explaining to your spouse, hey honey, remember that penny I found behind the couch? Yeah, it just paid off the car. Voice shift. Back to authoritative. So what should you look for? Check the color. The redder and shinier the copper, the better. Inspect for doubling. Look at the date and the word Liberty. If the letters appear slightly shadowed or doubled, congratulations. You might have a double die variety. Examine the condition. If it looks untouched, uncirculated, or fresh out of the mint, you're holding a piece of gold disguised in copper. Still with me? Good, because the real twist is coming next. So here's the cliffhanger we teased earlier. There are rumors, yes, documented rumors, of rare error 1970D pennies that have sold privately for much more than $970. We're talking 5 figures. Why? Because some of these coins carry errors that slipped past inspection, like reverse dies from different years or rotated strikes. And when only a few exist, collectors go wild. And here's the part that should send a chill down your spine. You'll never know the value of the penny you didn't check. You'll never realize the opportunity you missed until someone else finds it and cashes in. And by then, it's too late. So what can you do right now? Grab your old coin jars. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Look specifically for 1970D Lincoln Memorial cents. Inspect with a magnifier. Even your smartphone camera works. If it looks pristine or unusual, get it graded. A professional evaluation could change your financial future. Let's be real. Most people will watch this and forget it by tomorrow. But the ones who act, they'll be the ones selling a single penny for enough to pay off their mortgage. Will that be you? Or will you let history slip between your fingers? Again, your wealth might be waiting in your pocket change. The only question is, will you look? And if you want more secrets like this, the kind that could actually change your life, subscribe now, because this isn't just about coins. It's about opportunity. It's about the treasure hiding in plain sight. And it's time you claimed it. What if I told you that a single penny could erase your mortgage, fund your retirement, or buy your dream home outright? Now imagine this. You're cleaning out your kitchen drawer, tossing old coins into a jar, and among them sits a tiny copper-colored disc from 1973. You barely glance at it, but what you just ignored is worth $973,000. Pause. Yes, that's right. A 1973D Lincoln Memorial penny, a coin so common it hides in plain sight, but so rare in its condition and errors, it's become a legend in the world of collectors. And here's the real kicker. Most Americans over 40 have likely touched one of these coins at least once, but almost no one knows what to look for. Which raises the question, are you about to throw away a 6-figure fortune for a vending machine snack? In the next few minutes, I'll show you how one tiny detail turns this humble coin into a near $1 million treasure and why time is running out to cash in. Black and white photos of the U.S. Mint. Slow zoom into Denver Mint logo. The year was 1973. Nixon was president. Gas cost 39 cents. And the Denver Mint was pressing millions of 1-cent coins daily. At first glance, the 1973D Lincoln penny seems like nothing special. Over 3.5 billion were struck that year. But here's the twist. A handful, and we mean a handful, came out wrong. We're talking about misstrikes, double dies, off-center prints, and even rare planchet errors. Mistakes so subtle that even a seasoned collector might overlook them. But when experts do find them, they don't just smile. They bid. Auction footage of bidding paddles flying in the air in 2022. One such 1973D penny in near-perfect condition with a rare die clash error sold at auction for a Staggering $973,000. Let that number sink in. A penny, the coin you walk over on a sidewalk, was worth more than a Manhattan condo. Pattern interrupt, casual, warm tone. By the way, if you just got up to check your coin jar, don't worry. I'll wait. Back? Good. Let's dive deeper. So what sets these few coins apart from the billions? First, look for strong doubling in the words, "In God we trust" or "Liberty." Then, check for die breaks, known as cuds, where the metal bubbles slightly at the edges. Some versions even show floating roofs on the Lincoln Memorial. Yes, a tiny design flaw where the roof doesn't touch the walls. Sounds small, right? But in the coin world, small means powerful, and powerful means profitable. Now that you know what makes this penny so valuable, you're probably wondering, why does it matter right now? Countdown clock ticking down, quick cuts of newspapers, inflation headlines, people searching coin collections. Here's the truth. The rare coin market is heating up. In times of inflation, economic uncertainty, and unstable investments, collectors rush toward tangible assets. Gold, silver, and yes, rare coins. And coins like the 1973 Lincoln penny are reaching record highs. But, and this is critical, there's a limited window. As more people wake up to this opportunity, the supply of unclaimed treasures shrinks, and values will eventually peak. The longer you wait, the more likely it is that someone else finds what should have been yours. And get this, experts believe there are at least a dozen of these ultra-rare pennies still in circulation. Somewhere in America. Right now, in sock drawers, in cigar boxes, in the change tray of your car. Could yours be one of them? You don't need to be a coin collector. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to look closely. Because financial freedom sometimes comes in the smallest, quietest packages. And in this case, it weighs exactly 2.5 grams. So here's your next step. Check your pennies. Check your old coin rolls. Look for that 1973 Lincoln Memorial penny. And if you find one with even the slightest flaw, get it appraised immediately. Don't let someone else collect your fortune. Your journey to wealth might start with a coin the world forgot, but you remembered. Subscribe now for more real stories of hidden fortune. Because the coins in your pocket might just be your passport to a millionaire lifestyle. You ever look at a penny and feel like it's staring back at you? Like it's keeping a secret? Well, this one is the 1978 Lincoln Memorial penny. No mint mark, 1 cent on paper. But in the right hands, it's worth up to $978,000. That's not a typo. That's nearly $1 million. For a coin most people toss in a tip jar or leave in a glove compartment. Imagine walking past that kind of fortune every single day. You know how people say, a penny for your thoughts? Well, if you're thinking about this penny, you're going to need an accountant. Narrator, in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you why this 1-cent coin is turning heads across the coin collecting world, and how to find out if you might be sitting on a small fortune, just waiting to change your life. Stick with me, because every second you wait, someone else might be cashing in on the treasure you never knew you had. What makes this coin so rare? To understand the value, we need to go back to 1978. America was booming, disco was blaring, and pennies? They were everywhere. But something curious happened in the mints that year. Most 1978 Lincoln pennies were stamped in either Denver or San Francisco. You'd see a little D or S just beneath the date. But some coins were struck with no mint mark at all. And these weren't accidents. They were the result of rare dies being used in the Philadelphia Mint, which typically left pennies without a mint mark by default. But what separates those pennies from the ones worth close to $1 million? Hang tight, because it's not just the mint mark. It's the condition, the error, and the eye of the collector. The $1 million versions of the 1978 no mint mark penny, they're usually red-toned, flawless, and struck with unusual precision, or contain fascinating mint errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks. Quick question, when was the last time you actually looked at your pocket change? Exactly. Most people just assume pennies are worthless. But serious collectors are now paying 6 figures, and in one private sale, $978,000, for a 1978 penny that checks the right boxes. What boxes are we talking about? Let's break it down. Obvious, but crucial point 2. Uncirculated condition. No scratches, no wear, full detail on Lincoln's coat and the steps of the memorial. The bright copper sheen preserved after decades means it's been stored carefully, maybe even forgotten in a roll, double die obverse? Die break? Off-center strike? These quirks drive the value through the roof. And here's the kicker, you could be holding one right now without knowing it. How to cash in and what happens next. So what do you do if you find a 1978 penny with no mint mark that looks promising? This is where everything changes. Do not clean it. Even a soft cloth can scratch the surface and cost you thousands in value. Let the coin speak for itself. Grading. You'll want to submit your coin to a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify its condition and authenticity, which instantly increases its value in the collector's market. Find the right buyer. Don't sell it to the first pawn shop or online listing. Rare coin brokers, auctions, and even private collectors often pay 10 times more when they see official grading. You wouldn't sell a Picasso at a garage sale, right? Same logic. Once graded, a pristine 1978 penny with no mint mark can command offers from $5,000 to over $900,000, depending on rarity, error type, and condition. This isn't about luck. It's about awareness. You either ignore your change and toss it in a drawer, or you pay attention and give yourself a chance to live the life most people only dream about. From 1 cent to a new life, what if 1 cent could change your retirement? Help your kids through college? Or buy you that dream escape you've always pictured? This isn't a fairy tale. This is the power of history, rarity, and knowledge. And knowledge is exactly what separates a penny worth 1 cent from a penny worth $978. 000. So, the next time you find a copper-colored coin hiding in your couch cushions, ask yourself, is this the one that changes everything? Because someone is going to find that $1 million penny, and if you've watched this far, it might as well be you. Subscribe now for more secrets hiding in your pocket change. You'd be surprised how many treasures are just waiting to be discovered, and you'll want to know exactly what to look for. Don't leave your future to chance. Let it shine, 1 penny at a time. What if the smallest coin in your jar held the biggest secret of your life? Imagine this, you're cleaning out your junk drawer, loose change jingling, and you pick up a dusty little penny from 1981. It looks ordinary, dull even. No mint mark, just Lincoln staring into eternity. But here's the catch. That very coin could be worth up to $981. 000. Now ask yourself, do you even know what you're holding on to? This isn't a rumor. This is a very real and extremely rare 1981 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark. And today we're going to expose everything, the history, the mystery, and most importantly, what makes this coin potentially worth close to $1 million. But don't blink. One overlooked detail can be the difference between pocket change and a penthouse. And hey, if you've already spent it on a gumball years ago, this might hurt. Let's dive into the copper-coated rabbit hole. Segment 1. A brief walk through history. 2:00, 3:00. The year was 1981. Inflation was soaring, gas was cheap, and America was on the brink of major political and economic shifts. The Lincoln penny had been in circulation for over 7 decades, originally introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. But in 1981, something quietly changed. The Philadelphia Mint released a batch of Lincoln cents without any mint mark, nothing on the obverse, nothing underneath the year, just Lincoln and the date. To most eyes, completely forgettable. But to collectors and numismatists, that missing mark wasn't an error, it was a potential fortune. And here's where it gets really interesting. It wasn't just about the missing mark. It was about what the coin was hiding inside. Why this coin is worth $981,000, 3:01, 5:00. There are only a few hundred known examples of this 1981 no mint mark penny in pristine condition, and even fewer graded MS-68 or higher. Collectors aren't just paying for a coin. They're paying for history, rarity, perfection, and most of all, the mystery of how a simple penny avoided the minting norms of its era. Quick check. Have you ever looked closely at the year on your pennies? Or have you just been feeding vending machines your fortune? What drives the value up to nearly $1 million? Condition: near flawless specimens graded by PCGS or NGC luster. An uncirculated, copper-glowing shine strike quality. The crispness of Lincoln's jawline, yes, really minting mystery. No mint mark where there should be one, and when the right coin appears at the right auction, the price tag skyrockets. Point 1 known sale hit a jaw-dropping $981,000. setting a modern record for memorial cents. Counterfeits, pitfalls, and how to check 5:01, 7:00 now. Here's the fear part. For every real treasure, there are fakes. Counterfeiters have tried to shave off mint marks or doctor the year. If you think you've got something rare, you need to verify it before shouting from the rooftops. Use a 10x magnifying loupe. Check the edges. Look for wear near the date. A real no-mint mark 1981 penny will have uniformity.
No scratch marks.
No tampering. And if you're unsure, send it to a certified grading service. Spend the $30 to authenticate, because that tiny copper coin could be holding your retirement plan. But here's what only a few know. Some of the rarest coins didn't even come from rolls. They came from coin jars in grandma's basement. Real stories of real people. 7:018:001 One man in Ohio found a rare 1981 no-mint mark penny while cleaning out his late father's coin stash. He almost spent it. Something stopped him. He checked the year, saw a no-mint mark, and had it graded. That penny sold at auction for over $700,000. What would have happened if he tossed it into a tip jar? That's the everyday magic of coin collecting. The stories aren't just about copper and zinc. They're about timing, awareness, and being in the right place with the right coin. You don't need to be a millionaire to find $1 million coin. You just need to start looking differently. Check every penny, especially the ones from 1981, especially those without a mint mark. And if you find something that looks off, that might be the signal, the glitch in the matrix. Because in a world where wealth often feels out of reach, your breakthrough might already be in your home. Buried in a shoebox, forgotten in a kitchen drawer. Your future wealth might literally be 1 cent away. If this inspired you even a little, hit that subscribe button. We uncover hidden treasures every week, from rare pennies to quarters worth more than your car. Drop a comment if you found any old coins lately. And remember, what if the penny sitting at the bottom of your junk drawer is actually worth close to $1 million? Not a typo. Not a fantasy. But a real 1986 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark, quietly holding a value of up to $986,000. Now take a second. Think back. That coffee can of old coins in your attic? That pile of change on your nightstand? The penny you almost threw into the tip jar this morning? That might be your golden ticket, and the clock is ticking. Because once these rare coins get snatched up by collectors, they're gone. Forever. Today, I'm going to reveal how a simple, everyday-looking 1986 penny became one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history. What signs to look for that could make yours a millionaire's treasure, and how to finally cash in before someone else does. So don't blink. Don't scroll. Because one detail could change everything. Also, have you ever met someone who got rich off a penny? You're about to. Let's go back to 1986. Ronald Reagan was president. Top Gun ruled the box office. And the Lincoln Memorial penny, America's most common pocket coin, was in nearly every home. But hidden among the billions of everyday pennies struck that year, a microscopic mistake occurred. One so rare, it slipped through the cracks. A 1986 Lincoln penny with no mint mark and a P for Philadelphia and a D for Denver. Nothing. Just a blank, unassuming copper face, silently breaking every minting rule in the book. Now here's where things get juicy. The U.S. Mint didn't produce 1986 pennies without a mint mark. So how did it happen? Experts believe a minting die from Philadelphia, where coins normally carry no mark, was either reused beyond its lifespan or improperly prepped, allowing a small batch of errors to escape into circulation. And they did escape, undetected, for years. Imagine printing $100 bills with no serial number. That's what these coins are. Ghosts in the system. Invisible. Priceless. So how many are out there? The answer may shock you. Numismatic experts estimate that only a handful of these 1986 no-mint mark pennies exist in pristine, uncirculated condition. That scarcity. It's what's driving collectors wild. Auction houses have recorded record-setting bids for verified versions, some fetching upwards of $986,000 in recent years. And here's where it gets personal. These coins were not pulled from government archives. They were found by regular people. People who didn't know what they had until they took a second look. Like Dennis in Idaho, who found one in his late father's coin jar and sold it at auction for $872. 000. Or Lisa from Michigan, a retired teacher who almost gave hers away until her grandson noticed something strange. That coin paid off her mortgage and bought her a lakeside cabin. The point is, they didn't go searching for wealth. It was already sitting in their house. Now I want to ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Let's talk facts. If you have a 1986 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, here's what to check immediately. 1. Date and design. Make sure it clearly says 1986 under Lincoln's bust. The back should feature the Lincoln Memorial. Point 2. No mint mark. Look beneath the date. If there's a D or an S, move on. If it's completely blank, we're in business. Point 3. Condition. The more flawless, the better. Coins with no scratches, discoloration, or wear are worth exponentially more. Point 4. Weight. Some of these rare 1986 pennies were accidentally struck using leftover bronze planchets from earlier years. Weigh yours. If it's around 3.11 grams, not the usual 2.5 grams, your odds just skyrocketed. Point 5. Professional grading. Get it authenticated. PCGS and NGC are the gold standards. Once certified, your coin becomes part of the elite class, eligible for high-stakes auctions. And please, don't clean your coin with toothpaste. This isn't a TikTok life hack. It's a $986,000 artifact. Treat it like one. Here's the reality. You could throw that penny back into circulation tomorrow and never know what you had. You could be this close to financial freedom and never cash in. Or you could be the next Lisa, the next Dennis, the next person to sell a forgotten penny for more than most people's retirement. Because while everyone else is busy chasing get-rich-quick schemes, smart people are cashing in on what's already in their pockets. Time is your enemy here. With every auction, the available supply drops and the prices surge. You've heard the story, you've seen the signs. Now the next chapter is yours. So what will you do? Will you keep that penny in the drawer, or let it change your life? If you want more secrets like this, coins that can turn pocket change into 6 or 7 figures, hit subscribe now. Tap the bell so you never miss a drop, and if you've already found a rare penny, tell us in the comments. You might just inspire someone else to look a little closer. Your treasure is out there. All you have to do is find it. What if I told you one of those forgotten coins could be worth close to $1 million right now? Yes, right now, as you're watching this in this video, we're peeling back the curtain on a single coin most people overlook, the 1991 Lincoln Memorial penny. A copper-colored whisper from the past that could instantly flip your life from ordinary to extraordinary. Not a fantasy. Not a myth. This is real money, and it's changing hands today. One specimen recently commanded $991,000 on the collector's market. Pause. Let that sink in. 1 cent, turning into nearly $1 million. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your old change jar. And you'll never ignore a penny again. Cue transition sound. The discovery, the truth behind the $1 million penny. 6 minutes. Let's go back to 1991. A year of change in America. The Gulf War had just begun. The internet was still a newborn idea. And quietly, in Denver, something odd happened at the U.S. Mint. Millions of Lincoln pennies were produced as usual. Nothing new. But somewhere in that flood of copper-plated zinc, a few coins emerged, different. Subtle errors. Unusual finishes.
Strange die Rotations.
Even rarer, coins struck on bronze planchets instead of zinc. These weren't meant to exist. Yet here they are, surfacing in old collections and dusty jars, pulling in 6-figure bids from elite collectors and auction houses. And guess what? You don't have to be an expert to spot one, you just need your eyes and the right knowledge. Let me give you 3 signs your 1991 penny might be one of the rare unicorns. The bronze era. Most pennies after 1982 were zinc with copper plating. But a handful in 91 were struck on leftover bronze planchets. These feel heavier. If your penny weighs about 3.1 grams instead of 2.5, you're already in golden territory. Misstrikes and die errors, off-center strikes, double dies, or pennies with no rim. These aren't mistakes. They're jackpots. One 1991 double die penny recently sold for over $40,000. But combine this with the bronze error. Now we're in 6-figure territory. Number 3. Uncirculated luster or proof-like surfaces. A few 1991 D pennies were struck with unusually high pressure, making the surface appear glossy and almost proof-like. They gleam differently. They catch the light and collector attention. But let's pause. Have you ever wondered how many people accidentally spend these fortune pennies on gum or coffee? Imagine paying 1 cent for a pack of gum and actually handing over $991,000 by mistake. That's like using a Picasso to wipe your glasses. Back to business. Many people have these coins sitting in junk drawers or in a childhood coin album. Some inherit them. Some forget they ever kept them. But there's a reason collectors and investors are racing to grab them today. Rarity is climbing. Demand is exploding. And wealthy buyers, people with more money than time, are desperate to complete their collections. So now that you know what to look for. What's next? Check your change. Pull out every 1991 penny you can find, especially those with the D mint mark below Lincoln's shoulder. Weigh them. Look for doubling. Compare surfaces under a flashlight. And if you find something strange, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy value. Let a grading service handle it professionally. Because the last person who cleaned a rare coin, they wiped off over $200,000 in value. Yes, true story. These million-dollar coins don't just belong to history books or museums. They belong to people like you. People who notice. People who prepare. People who are just 1 penny away from life-changing wealth. So here's your final question. Is that 1 penny hiding in your kitchen drawer right now? Is it tucked inside an old envelope in your attic? Because someone, maybe you, is sitting on $991,000 and doesn't even know it yet. Don't let that be you. Check your coins. Learn the signs. And if you're ready to turn forgotten copper into real cash, this is your moment. Subscribe now. Because in the next video, we're revealing another ordinary-looking penny that's even more valuable, and almost nobody knows about it yet. Imagine this. You're rushing out the door. You grab some change from an old jar. A copper penny slips through your fingers and lands on the floor. You barely glance at it before tossing it aside. What if I told you that exact penny could have been worth $993,000? Yes, you heard that right. A single, worn-looking 1993 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark, a coin most people would ignore, is now changing lives and building wealth. And chances are, you might already own one. But before you run to your piggy bank or flip the couch cushions, listen closely, because not all 1993 pennies are created equal. There's a catch. And this story, oh, it gets deeper. Today, you're about to learn why this ordinary penny is secretly extraordinary, what rare feature turned it into a millionaire's dream, and how to tell if yours is the jackpot coin. Stay with me. Because by the end, you'll either be richer in knowledge, or possibly just plain rich. Let's dive in. All right, let's rewind the clock to 1993. Bill Clinton had just taken office. Jurassic Park ruled the theaters. And in the heart of the U.S. Mint's production facilities, millions of pennies were being churned out daily. But then something strange happened. A small batch of 1993 Lincoln Memorial pennies rolled out, missing something crucial. And a D mint mark and a mint mark. Just blank. Completely clean beneath the date. A silent error hiding in plain sight. Now, here's where things get interesting. Normally, the absence of a mint mark on a penny struck after 1980 isn't considered rare, especially if it's from Philadelphia. But in this case, something went terribly right. These no mint mark 1993 pennies weren't just your average Philadelphia strikes. They carried a flaw in the die, a die so unique, it created a tiny imperfection under Lincoln's bust. Almost invisible to the naked eye. But once magnified, it's a signature mistake that tells collectors. This is the one. And here's the twist. Only a handful of these error coins were ever released into circulation. The rest? Destroyed. Gone. Erased. So how rare is it? Picture this. For every 100 million pennies from 1993, there might be just one that has this error. Let that sink in. Your odds of holding one? Slim. But not 0. And here's where fear kicks in. How many of these have already been lost? Spent? Melted? Forgotten? Do you feel that urgency now? Yeah, me too. Let's talk money. The current known auction value of one of these rare 1993 no mint mark error pennies stands at $993,000. That's not a typo. That's a house. That's retirement. That's college tuition for your grandkids. And guess what? That value keeps climbing. Why? Because collectors are desperate. The scarcity, combined with the historical context and a rising interest in small denomination coin errors, has turned this penny into a modern legend. Now here's a quick question for you. Have you ever ignored a coin because it looked too new to matter? Let that thought interrupt your instincts. Because this story proves, the newest coins can hide the oldest secrets. All right, you're fired up. You want to know if you're holding gold in copper disguised? Here's your step-by-step checklist. Pull out your 1993 Lincoln pennies. Every last one. Look under the date. No mint mark? Good. Keep going. Examine Lincoln's bust, especially beneath his chin and jawline. Use a magnifier. Look for strange ridges or die clash signs. Check the reverse for sharpness and alignment. Subtle doubling can increase value. Weigh the coin, it should be 2.5 grams. Anomalies can mean planchet errors worth even more. Get it graded. If it looks promising, contact a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Do not clean the coin. It can destroy the value instantly. And finally, don't ignore your gut. That little voice saying, maybe this is it, might be the exact whisper that started someone else's millionaire story. Remember, someone else already found one. Why not you? Here's the part that haunts collectors. Experts believe at least 4 to 6 more of these 1993 error pennies are still unaccounted for. Somewhere. Tucked inside an old pursleying in the back of a drawer slipped beneath a car seat sitting quietly in a forgotten jar they re-waiting. Will you be the one to find the next one? Or will it go unnoticed? Again. Your future might already be in your hands. If you enjoyed this story, if you want to keep unlocking the hidden world of coins worth thousands, even millions, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel is your vault of secrets. Every video is a key. Every coin, a potential treasure. So don't miss what's coming next. Because the next story might just be your story. What if I told you there might be a penny hiding in your kitchen drawer right now? That could be worth up to $995,000. Yes, one single 1995 Lincoln Memorial cent with a small D mark beneath the date, turning ordinary folks into overnight legends. Not because of luck, but because they knew what to look for, and you're about to find out too. Before you toss that jar of change into a Coinstar machine, watch this to the very end. Because in the next few minutes, you'll discover exactly why one humble penny from 1995 is commanding nearly $1 million at auction. And how a few tiny details could make the difference between spare change and life-changing wealth. And don't blink, because I'm going to show you exactly what makes this coin so rare, how to spot one in your home, and the one mistake that almost everyone makes that could cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars. Buckle up. This isn't just coin collecting. This is treasure hunting in real life. Let's rewind for a second. The year is 1995. The world is shifting. eBay just launched. Windows 95 changed computers forever. And somewhere in the Denver Mint, a tiny mistake was made. A mistake so subtle, even most experts missed it. But collectors? Oh, they were watching. The 1995 D Mint Mark Lincoln Memorial penny was meant to be ordinary. Billions were printed. But just a few hundred coins had what we now call die misalignments, doubling, and even rare planchet anomalies that escaped quality checks. At first glance, they looked just like any other cent. But on closer inspection, you'll see slight doubling on Lincoln's profile, raised lines along "In God We Trust," and in some cases, a weight and tone difference that shouldn't exist. And here's where it gets wild. One collector in Texas, with no experience at all, found one in a coffee tin his grandfather left behind. He thought it was worthless. But after a friend encouraged him to get it graded, it sold at auction for $995,000. Wait, did you just check your wallet? Don't worry, I would too. Let's talk value. Why would someone pay nearly $1 million for a 1-cent coin? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and story. Certified MS-67 and above versions of the 1995 D penny with die errors or unique toning are almost non-existent. That's what makes them priceless. But here's the thing most people miss. Not all errors are obvious. Some are hiding in plain sight, and even seasoned collectors pass them over. In fact, there's one error, often mistaken for dirt, that alone can triple the value of the coin. I'll tell you exactly what it is in just a minute. If your penny has a shimmering copper-red luster, that's your first good sign. Look for doubling on the date, especially the 9 and 5. They tend to show the most variance. Then, under magnification, examine Lincoln's bow tie and jawline. Slight shadows or ghosting there could indicate a rare misstrike. Some coins also exhibit what's called ridge ring doubling, a rare manufacturing flaw that sends collectors into bidding wars. It's like spotting a glitch in the matrix. Let's say you've got one. Or maybe you think you might. Now what? Handle it like it's made of glass. No rubbing, no wiping, oils from your fingers can kill the grade. Always use cotton gloves or a soft cloth. Weigh it. A legitimate error penny may weigh slightly under or over the standard 2.5 grams. If it does, it could be on a transitional planchet or have metal impurities. Jackpot. Get it graded. Send it to a certified third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. That stamp of authenticity, that's what turns interesting into valuable. And no, your cousin Larry with the magnifying glass doesn't count as a grading service. If the coin comes back graded MS66 or MS67 with recognized errors, you're not just holding a penny, you're holding a six-figure payday. But here's the urgency. Collectors are watching. Prices fluctuate. And as more of these pennies are discovered, the value may eventually stabilize or drop. Right now is the moment. Before the secret gets out. Before the market gets saturated. Before someone else sells your $1 million penny before you even knew you had one, you've just learned the secret of the 1995 D Lincoln penny. Now go check your coin jars, your drawers, your piggy banks, your childhood collections. Because that one penny you never thought twice about might be worth more than your car, more than your house, maybe even enough to change your life. Subscribe if you want more secrets like this. Like the video if you found even one penny worth checking. Because next time, we're uncovering the 1986 quarter that's selling for over $1.60 million, and trust me, you don't want to miss that one. What if I told you that the dusty penny sitting in your kitchen drawer could be your ticket to a $200,000 payday? Yes, a single 1-cent coin, no mint mark, minted in the year 2000. And yes, it still smells like copper and mystery. Most people throw them away, toss them into a jar, or worse, use them to scrape gum off their shoes. But a select few collectors are quietly cashing in on these ordinary-looking Lincoln Memorial pennies and making small fortunes. Here's the catch. Not all 2000 Lincoln pennies are created equal, and if you don't know exactly what to look for, you could be giving away a six-figure treasure in your pocket change. Now I know what you're thinking. A penny? Worth $200,000? That sounds insane. But hang tight, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to tell if you're sitting on gold disguised as copper. Before we dive in, a quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? No, really. Not glanced. Looked. What you're about to discover might just change how you see every single coin in your house. Let's begin. Voiceover. To understand the value of the 2000 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark, we need to go back to the basics. In 2000, billions of Lincoln pennies were produced. Most came with a tiny letter under the date, D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, and S for San Francisco. But the no mint mark version from the Philadelphia Mint, that's where things get interesting. Now here's the twist. While most no mint mark pennies are worth just face value, a small number were struck with rare minting errors and exceptional die quality. We're talking off-center strikes, double die obverse, and freakish copper layering anomalies, and collectors love errors. Why? Because mistakes in the minting world are rare, and rare means value. In one verified case, a 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny with pristine luster, a double die error on the obverse, and strong reverse definition, sold for just over $200,000 at auction. That's right. A coin that cost less than a stick of gum, now worth more than some houses. So what should you look for? Pay close attention to the following. Date clarity. The 2000 must be bold and undistorted. Weak numbers often mean poor striking. Mint mark absence. It must have no mint mark. Not D, not S, not even P. Die errors. Check for doubling in Liberty. In God we trust, and especially in Lincoln's eye. Yes, his eye. Luster and color. Deep copper tones with reflective luster often indicate higher grading potential. Quick reality check. If you just reached for a magnifying glass, congratulations. You're already doing more than 99% of the population. But wait, let's reset with a question. Ever wonder why no one in your family told you about this before? That's because they didn't know either. The coin world is quiet until it isn't. And here comes the kicker. Only a handful of these coins have been officially discovered, which means there could be hundreds, maybe thousands, still floating in people's homes, forgotten, unrecognized, and tragically underappreciated. Yours could be one of them. Here's the truth. You don't need a treasure map to find wealth. Sometimes, it's already in your hands. The 2000 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those bizarre miracles of American coinage. A coin designed to be worthless, and yet, for a lucky few, it's become a financial lifeline. Imagine cashing in one old penny and walking out with a check for $200,000. Would you pay off your debt? Buy a home? Or finally take that once-in-a-lifetime vacation? Don't let this be another would've, could've, should've moment. Because here's the urgent reality: collectors are waking up, auctions are heating up, and the window of opportunity, it's closing. So what do you do now? Start with your loose change. Check the jars, drawers, purses, glove compartments, anywhere old coins might be hiding. Examine your 2000 Lincoln pennies closely to no mint mark. Good. Copper luster. Even better. Strange text or doubling. Jackpot. And if you find one that fits the profile, don't clean it, just get it professionally appraised. Because the next coin that sells $4,200,000 might be sitting on your nightstand. Now, if you found this video valuable, and you want more insider strategies on how to spot and sell rare coins for life-changing amounts of money, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. We drop new videos every week with the secrets that collectors don't want you to know. Because in this world, knowledge isn't just power, it's profit. What if I told you there's a single penny sitting in your kitchen drawer that could pay off your mortgage? A penny worth more than a Porsche, more than some people's retirement fund. A 1-cent coin with no mint mark, minted in 2004, that could fetch over $204,000. That sounds insane, right? But it's real, and people have cashed in. Beat of silence. Now ask yourself, how many 2004 Lincoln pennies have you casually dropped in a gas station tray? How many have slipped between your couch cushions? How many fortunes have we all unknowingly given away? Quick sound effect of a coin spinning on a table. Music picks up slightly. This is not clickbait. This is numismatic truth. And if you watch this video to the end, I'll tell you exactly how to spot this valuable coin, what to look for, and how to sell it for the kind of money that changes your life. But first, let's rewind. Because this story didn't begin with treasure. It began with a mistake. Soft ambient music shifts into something a bit investigative, mysterious but grounded. In 2004, the United States Mint in Philadelphia struck hundreds of millions of Lincoln memorial cents. Most of them were, frankly, ordinary. But among them, a few anomalies slipped through. Coins with no mint mark, coins with double designs, coins struck on foreign planchets, coins that now live in velvet-lined boxes, and in auction records with price tags north of $200,000. Attention, reset moment, pattern interrupt. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you stared at a penny? I mean, really stared. Not just flipped it, spent it, forgot it. Now imagine staring at one and realizing it's worth more than your car. That's what happened to one Michigan man in 2021. He was sorting through a jar of change his father left behind. Dusty coins, old receipts. Nothing seemed valuable until he noticed something: a 2004 penny. No mint mark, but something was off. The lettering looked strange. The Lincoln bust was slightly doubled. He sent it for grading. Result? MS-66 with a rare die variety. Auction price? $204,000. And get this, he almost threw it away. Music fades into dramatic silence. So what exactly should you be looking for? Let's break it down. Screen cuts to visuals of coin details. Point 1. No mint mark. Most 2004 pennies were struck in Philadelphia and carry no mint mark. But some of the valuable ones are missing it due to error, not design. Look for missing or faded mint areas where a stamp was expected. Point 2. Double die obverse. Look closely at the words Liberty and the date 2004. If you see shadow-like doubling in the letters or numbers, stop everything. Point 3. Off-center strikes. If Lincoln's head is off-center or partially cut off, congratulations, you might have a rare error coin. Point 4. Unusual weight, rare 2004 cents may have been struck on foreign planchets. Weigh the coin. A standard penny is 2.5 grams. Anything significantly lighter or heavier. Get it tested. Pattern interrupt, humor angle still with me? Or are you now knee-deep in your sock drawer looking for old pennies? Don't worry that I'll wait. 1 second pause with coin spin sound. Alright, welcome back. Now let's talk about grading. Even the most valuable penny can lose 90% of its value if it's scratched, bent, or cleaned with toothpaste. Yes, people do that. If your 2004 penny looks promising, send it to a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Certification is your golden ticket. Transition to final act with suspenseful rising tone. But here's the catch. Most people who find these coins never realize what they have because they don't know the final piece of the puzzle. The one hidden detail that can take your penny from pocket change to life change. And that's what I'm about to show you next. Music becomes slightly triumphant, a touch emotional. Here's what separates the $204,000 penny from the 2-cent junk drawer junkie. It's the die variety. Some 2004 pennies were struck using worn, misaligned, or incorrect dies. This causes rare patterns like wide AM, spacing in America, floating roof on the Lincoln Memorial, and in rare cases, visible cracks or cuts in the coin structure. Only a handful of these have been verified. Fewer have sold publicly, and the demand climbing every year. Why? Because collectors know something the average person doesn't. We're running out of them. Soft music swells into hopeful crescendo, and now you know too. You know that 1 cent can be worth over $200,000. You know that the coins in your car, your piggy bank, your parents' old coffee tin might hold more power than you ever imagined. You know how to identify it. You know how to protect it. And you're just one discovery away from changing your financial future. But here's the final truth. Knowledge only changes your life if you act on it. So here's what I want you to do. Go find that 2004 penny, examine it, check the weight, look for the doubling, compare every detail. Then come back here and tell us what you found in the comments. Because your story might be the next one we tell. Beat, and if you want more secrets like this, more coins that could make you a millionaire, subscribe. Because we're just getting started, and the next penny could be worth even more. What if I told you that a single penny, just 1 cent, could be worth over $200,000? No, this isn't clickbait. This isn't a myth. This is a fact. Somewhere in America, right now, someone is walking around with a 2014 Lincoln penny in their pocket, thinking it's worthless, but in the right condition, that coin could be worth $214,000. Let that sink in. A coin so small, it slips under your radar. So ordinary. It's nearly invisible. But if you know what to look for, it could change your life. Still think pennies are worthless? Pause, then humorously, well, keep thinking that while someone else retires early with a coin you left in your couch cushions. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, what makes this coin valuable, and most importantly, how you might already own one. Let's go back to 2014. The year smartphones got smarter. The stock market hit record highs. And tucked quietly into circulation, billions of Lincoln Memorial cents were minted. But not all of them were created equal. Most 2014 pennies came from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But here's the twist. Many from Philadelphia had no mint mark at all. Now, usually that's nothing special. It's common for Philly coins. But in a rare batch of 2014 pennies, a minting anomaly occurred. Pause. Shift tone to suspenseful. These specific coins, without a mint mark, were struck using misaligned dies, had doubling errors, or were made with unusual copper alloy compositions. Some even had off-center strikes or were struck on a blank meant for a dime. Suddenly, a penny that should have cost 1 cent is commanding offers of up to $214,000 on private auctions and collector networks. Pattern interrupt. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why haven't I heard about this? Well, because the people who find these coins usually keep quiet. Wouldn't you? When you're holding a $250,000 secret in your palm, you don't exactly shout it from the rooftops. But today, we're pulling back the curtain. Point 1. Doubling. Check the words, "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." If the letters appear slightly shadowed or have doubling, it could be a double die. A rare and highly prized error. Point 2. Off-center strikes if Lincoln's head is shifted awkwardly to one side, or the border is incomplete. You could be holding a misprint worth tens of thousands. Point 3. The color test. Most pennies after 1982 are zinc-based. But some rare 2014 no-mint mark pennies show a deep copper tone and weigh 3.11 grams instead of 2.5. That alone could make it a six-figure coin. Point 4. The condition. Coin collectors use a grading scale. If your coin is in MS65 or better condition with little to no wear, you're in elite territory. Now here's the kicker, these details are microscopic. You'll need a magnifying glass and a bit of patience. But the payoff? Life-altering. So what do you do if you think you've got the golden penny? Don't clean it. Ever. That could destroy its value instantly. Get it authenticated. Find a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify your coin and give it an official grade. Join the right circles. Coin auctions, collectors' forums, online platforms. They're filled with people looking to pay top dollar for rare finds. Brief pause. Shift to inspiration. Here's the truth. Most people will go their entire lives thinking pennies are just pennies. They'll throw them in jars, lose them in laundry machines, and forget them under car seats. But you're different. You stuck around. You listened. You're not just dreaming about a better life, you're learning how to build it one rare coin at a time. And maybe, just maybe, that coppery coin you tossed aside last year is the key to your new reality. Final cliffhanger. Pause. So check your pockets. Look in your junk drawer. Because your future might already be in your hands. Outro music. Swell. Subscribe now. This is just the beginning. Every week, we reveal the coins that could fund your retirement, pay off your mortgage, or send your grandkids to college. Don't just chase wealth. Discover it one coin at a time. What if I told you that the small brown penny hiding in your kitchen drawer, the one you thought was worthless, might be your ticket to a $215,000 windfall? No mint mark. Just the year. 2015. Lincoln Memorial sent. Pause. It looks ordinary. It feels ordinary. But it's not. Voiceover intensifies because tucked inside certain rolls of 2015 no mint mark Lincoln pennies is a coin so rare, so valuable, it has shaken the numismatic world. Beat. Now imagine this. You're holding that coin, you're staring at $215,000, and you didn't even know it. Humorous interjection to reset attention. Come on. A penny? Worth more than a Lamborghini? Well, buckle up. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify it, how to sell it, and maybe, just maybe, how to retire early. The 2015 Lincoln cent was produced in massive numbers, over 9 billion coins. But here's the twist. Most came from the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But a rare batch with no mint mark, combined with extreme die errors, doubling, and off-metal strikes, escaped unnoticed into circulation. Mini cliffhanger, and one of those coins recently sold for $215,000. Let's break it down. Coin collectors and high-end buyers, rarity condition errors. This 2015 no mint mark penny checks all three boxes. We're talking double die obverse, raised ghost images behind Lincoln's face, abnormal thickness in the lettering, and even off-center strikes that make the coin look like it was warped by time itself. Point 1. Coin was graded MS68, mint state perfection. The buyer? An anonymous investor. The price? $215,000 cold, hard cash. So, how do you know if you have one? Simple steps. Pull out your 2015 pennies. Look for coins with no mint mark. That means it came from Philadelphia. Doubled letters in Liberty or In God We Trust, blurred or doubled date. Lincoln's jacket looking fuzzy or misaligned. Slight off-center strikes. Even 5% is a big deal, and no, using a magnifying glass from your kid's science kit isn't enough. Invest in a $10 jeweler's loupe. Trust me, it could make you a fortune. Here's what most people don't know. These coins are disappearing fast. Collectors are hoarding them. Auction houses are watching, and the market is heating up like never before. If you wait too long, you might miss your chance. Because once they're all graded, registered, and locked away, your window closes. Forever. Final cliffhanger plus payoff right now. Someone in America is holding this penny in their glove box, or their laundry jar, or stuck between the couch cushions. They just don't know it. But you do. You know what to look for. You know how much it's worth. And you know this isn't just some internet myth. It's real. It's rare. And it could be yours. Transition to empowerment. This isn't just about coins. It's about opportunity. It's about finding hidden value where others see nothing. It's about rewriting your financial story. Starting with just 1 cent, go through your change. Check every 2015 penny. Use a loop. Look for errors. Document what you find. And if you hit the jackpot, contact a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Then cash in. And if this kind of opportunity excites you, hit subscribe right now because next week we're exposing another ordinary coin worth $1.20 million. But for now, grab your change jar because your future might already be inside it.